Choose yourself now, my dear, because your life has been waiting for you to come back to your own heart. You may have spent so long being strong for others, understanding others, forgiving others, waiting for others, carrying emotions that were never yours to carry, and trying to be everything for everyone. But somewhere in all that giving, a quiet part of you began to disappear. Not because you were weak, not because you did something wrong, but because you were taught that love meant forgetting yourself. You were taught that peace came from keeping everyone else comfortable, even when your own heart was tired. You were taught to stay quiet when your soul wanted to speak, to smile when your body wanted to rest, to say yes when every part of you was asking for space. And now life is gently calling you back. It is not calling you with anger. It is not calling you with blame. It is calling you with love. It is saying, come home to yourself. Come back to the person you left behind while trying to be accepted. Come back to the dreams you placed on a shelf because someone else needed you. Come back to the voice inside you that still knows what feels true, what feels heavy, and what is ready to change. There comes a moment in every healing journey when you realize that waiting to be chosen by others has been keeping your own life still. You wait for someone to understand you before you understand yourself. You wait for someone to love you before you love yourself. You wait for someone to approve of your path before you begin walking. You wait for an apology, a message, a sign, a perfect time, a softer ending, a better explanation. And while you wait, your life stands at the door, holding all the good that belongs to you, unable to move forward because you are still looking backward. My dear, this is not the day to keep abandoning yourself. This is not the day to keep proving your worth to people who only see your value when you are useful to them. This is not the day to keep shrinking your needs so others can feel bigger. This is the day you remember that you matter. Your peace matters. Your body matters. Your dreams matter. Your quiet sadness matters. Your joy matters. Your future matters. And the moment you choose yourself, life begins to feel movement again because your energy returns to the place where it belongs. Choosing yourself does not mean becoming cold. It does not mean you stop loving others. It does not mean you close your heart and turn away from the world. It means you finally stop leaving yourself outside the door of your own life. It means you stop asking for permission to need rest, to need truth, to need kindness, to need space, to need respect. It means you begin to understand that your love is sacred, but your life is sacred too. You can care deeply without losing yourself. You can forgive someone without giving them the key to your peace again. You can wish someone well without carrying their confusion inside your own body. You can be gentle and still have boundaries. You can be loving and still say, this is no longer good for me. This is the kind of choosing that heals, not loud, not harsh, not full of pride, just clear, just honest, just true. For a long time, you may have believed that if you loved people harder, they would finally love you correctly. If you explained yourself better, they would finally understand your heart. If you gave more, stayed longer, tried again, softened more, worked harder, waited patiently, then one day they would look at you and see what you had been giving all along. But my dear, love that asks you to disappear is not the love your soul came here to learn. Peace that requires your silence is not real peace. Belonging that costs your self-respect is not true belonging. The right people do not need you to abandon yourself in order to keep them. The right path does not ask you to betray your own heart to walk on it. The right life does not begin after you have destroyed yourself for everyone else. It begins when you finally decide that you are allowed to be included in your own love. Feel the truth of that. You are allowed to be included in your own love. You are allowed to be one of the people you protect. You are allowed to be one of the people you comfort. You are allowed to be one of the people you forgive. You are allowed to be one of the people you show up for. How long have you been the safe place for everyone else while your own heart had nowhere to rest? How long have you been the listener, the helper, the healer, the strong one, the understanding one, while your own needs waited quietly in the corner? You were never meant to become empty in order to be good. You were never meant to confuse self-neglect with kindness. You were never meant to prove your love by making yourself small. Love is not a place where you vanish. Love is a place where you can breathe. So today, let this be the gentle turning point. Choose yourself now, not later, not after everyone else is pleased, not after every problem is solved, not after your heart is completely healed. Choose yourself in the middle of the healing. Choose yourself while you are still learning. Choose yourself while your voice shakes. Choose yourself while guilt tries to visit. Choose yourself while the old part of you says, "But what will they think?" Choose yourself anyway, because the part of you that is afraid is not your enemy. It is the part of you that learns survival by staying small. It only needs love. It only needs patience. It only needs to know that choosing yourself is safe now. Maybe your life has not been stuck because you are unlucky. Maybe it has been stuck because your energy has been tied to too many things that do not feed your soul. Maybe your heart has been standing in old rooms, waiting for warmth from places that only gave you confusion. Maybe your dreams have been quiet because you kept telling yourself that other people's needs were more important than your own calling. Maybe your body has been tired because it has been carrying the weight of words you never spoke, tears you never released, and choices you kept delaying. Nothing is wrong with you. Something inside you is simply asking to be honored. Your life is not punishing you. It is trying to bring you back into alignment. When you choose yourself, you begin to send a new message to life. You say, "I am ready to receive what does not require me to suffer for it. I am ready for love that feels peaceful. I am ready for opportunities that respect my energy. I am ready for rooms where I do not have to shrink. I am ready for a path that allows my spirit to breathe. And life hears that. Life responds to the way you value yourself. When you treat yourself like someone who matters, life begins to arrange experiences that reflect that truth. Not always in a loud or sudden way, but in quiet openings. A new thought, a new boundary, a new desire, a new sense of calm, a new door that appears after you finally stop knocking on the one that kept hurting your hand. Your life starts moving again when your energy is no longer trapped in proving, chasing, pleasing, and waiting. Think of how much strength you have used trying to be enough for people who were not ready to meet you with the same care. Think of how much peace you gave away trying to control how others saw you. Think of how many dreams you delayed because you were afraid that choosing your own life would disappoint someone else. My dear, you cannot build a joyful future with energy that is still tied to fear. You cannot fully receive what is meant for you while your hands are full of what is draining you. You cannot walk into your next chapter while apologizing for having needs. There is a softer way. There is a truer way. There is a way that begins with coming back to yourself. Let the words move through you. You gently. I choose myself with love. I honor the life within me. I am safe to matter. These are not selfish words. They are healing words. They are words that begin to repair the places inside you where you learned that your value depended on how much you gave away. They remind your heart that you are not here only to survive other people's expectations. You are here to live. You are here to grow. You are here to experience love, peace, beauty, safety, purpose, and joy. You are here to remember that life moves through you, not only around you. And when you return to yourself, you return to the flow of life. There is no need to become someone else in order to choose yourself. You do not need to become harder, louder, or more perfect. You do not need to explain your healing to everyone. You do not need to make a grand announcement to begin again. Sometimes choosing yourself is quiet. It is going to bed with a peaceful heart instead of replaying someone's behavior. It is eating with care instead of forgetting your body. It is no longer answering from fear. It is allowing your feelings to be real. It is giving yourself permission to want what you want. It is no longer making excuses for what keeps hurting you. It is allowing yourself to step back from anything that makes your spirit feel small. These small returns to yourself become the foundation of a new life. And as you begin to choose yourself, some things may shift. Some people may not understand the new peace in you. Some old patterns may try to pull you back. Some parts of you may feel uncomfortable because you are no longer living from the same wound. That is okay. Growth can feel unfamiliar before it feels natural. Peace can feel strange when you have lived in survival for a long time. Calm can feel empty when your body is used to chaos. But do not mistake unfamiliar for wrong. Sometimes the new life feels quiet at first because it is no longer filled with the noise of self-betrayal. Stay with the quiet. Let it teach you. Let it show you that safety does not need drama to be real. My dear, choosing yourself now is the beginning of your movement. It is the moment your soul says, I am ready to live from truth. I am ready to stop waiting for life to begin outside of me. I am ready to stop placing my peace in hands that do not know how to hold it. I am ready to walk with myself, listen to myself, love myself, and allow life to meet me in a higher way. The path opens when you stop standing against your own heart. The light returns when you stop hiding from your own worth. The energy comes back when you stop spending it on what keeps you empty. Choose yourself now, not with anger, not with fear, with love, with grace, with a quiet knowing that your life is precious and it is allowed to move again. There are times when life feels still, heavy, and unmoving, even when you are doing so much. You wake up, you try, you handle things, you respond to people, you carry your duties, you smile when you can, and yet deep inside there is a feeling that something is not flowing. It may feel like doors are slow to open. It may feel like your energy is always low. It may feel like you keep circling the same emotions, the same doubts, the same tired thoughts. And when this happens, the mind often begins to blame. It says, maybe I am behind. Maybe I missed my chance. Maybe life has forgotten me. Maybe nothing is changing because I am not doing enough. But my dear, what if your life feels stuck, not because you are failing, but because you have been living too far away from yourself? When you ignore your own heart for too long, life begins to feel unclear. When you keep choosing what drains you, your spirit begins to feel heavy. When you keep saying yes while your soul is quietly saying no, your body begins to speak through tiredness, tension, sadness, or emptiness. This is not punishment. This is communication. Your inner life is always speaking to you. It speaks through peace. It speaks through discomfort. It speaks through longing. It speaks through the feeling that something has to change. The problem is not that you do not know anything. The problem is that you may have spent years training yourself not to listen. You may know exactly what feels heavy, but you talk yourself out of it. You may know when a situation is no longer right, but you tell yourself to be patient far beyond what love requires. You may know when you need rest, but you keep pushing because you feel guilty for slowing down. You may know when your heart is asking for a new beginning, but you keep waiting for life to make the decision for you. This is how stuckness grows. It grows when your inner truth keeps being delayed. It grows when you keep choosing comfort on the outside while your soul feels crowded on the inside. It grows when you keep trying to protect everyone else from discomfort while your own peace is quietly breaking. There is a deep kind of tiredness that comes from not choosing yourself. It is not only physical, it is emotional, it is spiritual. It is the tiredness of always checking the room before you speak. The tiredness of wondering how your choices will be judged. The tiredness of being needed but not always nourished. The tiredness of holding back your truth because someone else may not like the sound of it. The tiredness of acting okay when your heart is asking to be held. This kind of tiredness does not always go away with sleep because it is not only the body that needs rest. The soul needs rest from pretending. The heart needs rest from overgiving. The mind needs rest from trying to control how everyone responds. My dear, life begins to move when truth begins to move. If you keep hiding your truth, your life can only move so far. If you keep silencing your needs, your energy cannot fully rise. If you keep living from old fear, new blessings may feel unsafe when they arrive. This is why choosing yourself is so powerful. It brings movement back into the hidden places. It clears the energy that has been tied to pleasing. It opens the door that fear kept closed. It reminds the mind and body that you are no longer here to abandon yourself for acceptance. Maybe you have been waiting for a sign that it is time to begin again. But the quiet ache inside you may already be the sign. The heaviness you feel when you keep doing what is not true for you may already be the sign. The peace you feel when you imagine choosing differently may already be the sign. Life does not always guide you with loud messages. Sometimes life guides you through the way your body softens around truth and tightens around what is no longer aligned. Your body knows, your heart knows, your energy knows. You may have been asking life for direction while ignoring the wisdom it placed inside you. If you want to understand why your life feels stuck, look gently at where your energy is going. Is it going into your own healing or into proving yourself to people who keep moving the finish line? Is it going into your dreams or into replaying old conversations? Is it going into your peace or into managing how others feel about your boundaries? Is it going into your future or into waiting for someone from the past to become who you needed them to be? Energy is life. Where your energy goes, your life begins to grow. If your energy is always feeding fear, fear grows. If your energy is always feeding old pain stays alive. If your energy begins to feed self-love, courage, peace, and truth, a new life begins to form. You are not stuck because life has no path for you. You may feel stuck because you are still trying to walk a path that your soul has already outgrown. You are not stuck because nothing good is coming. You may feel stuck because your hands are still holding what cannot come with you. You are not stuck because you lack worth. You may feel stuck because you have been treating yourself as if your worth must be earned through suffering. These are different truths, and they matter. One truth keeps you ashamed, the other gives you power. And the loving truth is this: you can choose again. Choosing again does not have to be dramatic. You can begin by becoming honest with yourself, honest about what feels heavy, honest about what you miss, honest about what you need, honest about where you are tired of pretending, honest about who you become around certain people, honest about the dreams you keep pushing away because you think it is too late. Honesty is movement. The moment you tell yourself the truth with kindness, energy begins to shift. You stop living in confusion. You stop fighting your own knowing. You stop making your soul beg for your attention. You begin to stand beside yourself instead of against yourself. Sometimes the reason life feels stuck is because the old self is trying to keep control while the new self is trying to be born. The old self says, "Stay where it is familiar. Keep everyone pleased. Do not risk being misunderstood. Do not ask for too much cake. Do not change the pattern." The new self says, "Breathe, step forward, trust what you know, choose peace, choose truth, choose the life that feels honest." This inner conflict can feel like heaviness, but it is not failure. It is a doorway. It means something in you is waking up. It means the part of you that accepted less is beginning to remember more. It means your spirit is no longer willing to live only from survival. You may have spent years believing that movement means doing more, pushing harder, making bigger plans, forcing faster results. But spiritual movement often begins inside. It begins when you release one old belief. It begins when you stop speaking to yourself with cruelty. It begins when you stop chasing someone's approval. It begins when you rest without guilt. It begins when you admit that you want a life that feels softer and more true. From the outside, it may look quiet, but inside, something powerful is happening. The old pattern is losing its hold. The new life is gaining permission to breathe. There is a sacred connection between self-respect and flow. When you respect yourself, you stop placing your energy where it is not honored. When you stop placing your energy where it is not honored, that energy returns to you. When that energy returns to you, you begin to feel clearer. When you feel clearer, you make choices from peace instead of fear. When you make choices from peace, life begins to open in ways that force never could. This is why choosing yourself matters so deeply. It is not only about feeling better, it is about returning your life force to its rightful home. The mind may ask, "But what if I choose myself and lose people?" My dear, what is truly meant for you will not require your self-abandonment. What is rooted in love will not punish you for becoming whole. Some connections may need to change when you start respecting your own heart. Some patterns may no longer have a place in your life. Some people may miss the version of you who never said no, never asked for more, never had needs. but you are not here to keep a false peace by hurting yourself. You are here to live in real peace, the kind that begins inside and does not depend on constant self-denial. When your life feels stuck, do not only ask, "What should I do next?" Also ask, "Where have I left myself behind? Where am I saying yes from fear? Where am I waiting for permission? Where am I giving more than I truly have? Where am I ignoring the quiet truth inside me?" These questions are not meant to make you feel guilty. They are meant to bring you back. Every answer becomes a doorway. Every honest moment becomes a key. Every act of self-respect becomes a small opening where life can enter again. You might notice that as you begin to choose yourself, your body responds before your mind fully understands. Your breath may feel easier. Your chest may feel less tight. Your sleep may become softer. Your thoughts may become less routed. Your heart may feel a quiet kind of strength that was hidden under all the pleasing. This is because your body feels safer when you stop betraying yourself. Your nervous system begins to learn that your own choices can protect you. Your inner child begins to feel that someone is finally listening. Your soul begins to trust that you will no longer leave it alone in the name of love. My dear, you do not need to fix your entire life today. You only need to stop turning away from yourself. You only need to become willing to hear your own heart. You only need to notice where peace is calling you. Life does not ask for perfection. Life asks for alignment. It asks you to be honest enough to stop watering what is no longer alive. It asks you to be brave enough to receive what feels healthy. It asks you to be kind enough to include yourself in your own care. And as you do, the stuck places begin to loosen. The road begins to appear. The energy begins to return. The life that felt closed begins to move again. Let these words become a soft truth inside you. I am no longer willing to disappear from my own life. I am no longer willing to call self-abandonment love. I am no longer willing to keep my dreams waiting outside my own heart. I choose to return to myself with kindness. I choose to listen to the life within me. I choose to let my energy come home. These words do not need to be shouted. They can be held quietly. They can become the gentle ground beneath your next choice. They can become the beginning of a new relationship with yourself. There is nothing selfish about wanting peace. There is nothing wrong with needing space. There is nothing unloving about honoring your limits. There is nothing cruel about refusing to lose yourself. The more you love yourself in a true way, the more honest your love becomes for others too. You stop giving from fear. You stop helping from resentment. You stop saying yes with a closed heart. You begin to give from fullness, not from emptiness. You begin to love without begging to be loved back. You begin to care without becoming a container for everyone else's pain. This is a healthier love. This is a freer love. This is the love that begins when you are no longer absent from yourself. Your life feels stuck when your inner world and outer choices are moving in different directions. Your soul wants peace, but your habits keep choosing stress. Your heart wants truth, but your mouth keeps saying what is expected. Your body wants rest, but your fear keeps pushing. Your spirit wants expansion, but old guilt keeps asking you to stay small. Choosing yourself brings these parts back together. It creates harmony. It tells your whole being, we are moving in the same direction now. We are not fighting ourselves anymore. We are not leaving ourselves anymore. We are learning to live as one. And when that harmony begins, even small choices become powerful. A quiet no becomes movement. A peaceful yes becomes movement. A night of rest becomes movement. A loving thought becomes movement. A boundary becomes movement. A decision to stop chasing becomes movement. A decision to believe you are worthy becomes movement. The mind may not see the whole road yet, but the soul feels the change. It knows when you have returned. It knows when you have stopped handing your power away. It knows when you are ready to let life meet you differently. So if life has felt stuck, do not speak harshly to yourself. Do not call yourself lazy, lost, weak, or late. Speak to yourself as someone who is waking up. Speak to yourself as someone who has carried too much and is finally learning to put down what is not theirs. Speak to yourself as someone whose life is not over, whose path is not closed, whose heart is still capable of deep joy. Because it is true. You are not finished. You are not forgotten. You are not behind. You are being called inward so that your outer life can begin to reflect the truth of who you really are. Choose yourself, and the door inside you opens. When the door inside opens, the path outside begins to move. Choosing yourself is one of the most healing decisions you will ever make because it changes the way you stand inside your own life. It is not a loud decision. It does not need to be dramatic. It does not need to be explained to everyone around you. It begins quietly, in the private place where you finally admit that your heart matters too. It begins when you stop treating your own needs like an inconvenience. It begins when you stop asking your pain to be silent so others can stay comfortable. It begins when you realize that love without self-respect becomes suffering, and giving without inner truth becomes exhaustion. Choosing yourself is not about becoming selfish. It is about becoming whole. For so long, you may have connected love with sacrifice. You may have believed that the more you suffered, the more loving you were. You may have thought that being good meant never disappointing anyone, never needing too much, never saying no, never changing in ways that others might not understand. But my dear, that is not love. That is fear dressed as goodness. Real love does not ask you to destroy yourself. Real love does not require you to stay in pain to prove your loyalty. Real love does not demand that you ignore your own soul. Real love allows truth. Real love allows space. Real love allows growth. And the first place this love must be practiced is within you. Choosing yourself means you begin to listen to the quiet signals you used to ignore. The tightness in your chest when something is not right. The heaviness after giving more than you had. The sadness that appears when you keep settling for less than your heart needs. The peace that comes when you imagine a different path. The lightness you feel when you stop forcing what has been draining you. These signals are not random. They are guidance. They are the language of your inner wisdom. And your soul is not silent. It has been speaking all along. Choosing yourself means you stop dismissing that voice and begin to treat it as sacred. This healing decision asks you to stop asking, what will make everyone else comfortable? And begin asking, what is true for me? Not what is easy, not what is expected, not what keeps the old pattern alive. What is true? Truth may be gentle, but it is powerful. Truth may feel scary at first, but it brings peace. A life built on pretending can only feel heavy. A life built on truth has room to breathe. When you choose yourself, you choose the life that can hold your real heart, not the image you created to be accepted. Maybe you're afraid that choosing yourself will make you lose love. But what if choosing yourself helps you find the kind of love that does not require you to disappear? Maybe you are afraid that choosing yourself will make you alone. But what if it brings you closer to people who can meet you honestly? Maybe you are afraid that choosing yourself will change everything. But what if everything needs to change because your soul is ready for more peace? Fear often tries to protect the old life, even when the old life is hurting you. That does not mean fear is bad. It means fear needs kindness. It means you can hold your fear gently and still choose truth. There is a version of you that has been waiting for this decision. This version is not far away. It is not a perfect future self. It is the part of you underneath the guilt, underneath the pressure, underneath the habit of saying yes when you mean no. It is the part of you that remembers joy. It is the part of you that knows how to breathe deeply. It is the part of you that still believes life can be softer. Choosing yourself brings this part forward. It says, you do not have to hide anymore. You do not have to wait anymore. You do not have to earn your place in your own life. You belong here because you exist. Self-love is not always soft in the way people imagine. Sometimes self-love is gentle rest. Sometimes it is kind words in the mirror. Sometimes it is forgiving yourself for not knowing better before. But sometimes self-love is also a clear boundary. Sometimes it is walking away from what keeps wounding you. Sometimes it is ending the inner argument where you try to convince yourself that your pain is not real. Sometimes it is choosing peace even when guilt tries to follow you. This kind of self-love is not cruel. It is honest. It protects the life within you. My dear, you are allowed to protect the life within you. You are allowed to protect your calm, your hope, your body, your dreams, your future. You do not have to leave your inner world open to every person, every demand, every opinion, every old pattern. Your energy is sacred. Your attention is sacred. Your time is sacred. Where you place these things, your life grows. So choosing yourself means becoming more careful with what you feed. If you keep feeding fear, fear becomes strong. If you keep feeding guilt, guilt becomes familiar. If you keep feeding self-love, self-love becomes your home. This is where healing begins to deepen. When you choose yourself, you begin to change the old message that says, I must be chosen by others to be worthy. You replace it with a new truth. I am worthy now, and I choose to treat myself as worthy. At first, this may feel unfamiliar. You may not believe it fully. That is okay. Belief often grows through loving repetition. Every time you honor your peace, you teach your mind that you matter. Every time you speak kindly to yourself, you teach your heart that love is safe. Every time you step away from what drains you, you teach your body that it does not have to live in tension. Every time you choose truth, you make it easier to choose truth again. There may be grief in choosing yourself. Let that be allowed. You may grieve the years you spent trying to be enough. You may grieve the version of you who accepted less because they did not know their own worth. You may grieve the love you gave that was not returned with care. You may grieve the dreams you delayed, but do not let grief become another reason to punish yourself. Let it become tenderness. Let it become compassion. You did what you knew how to do with the awareness you had. Now you know more. Now you are choosing differently. That is healing. That is growth. That is grace. You are not late to your own life. The moment you choose yourself is the moment life begins to open from where you are, not from who you wish you had been, not from the past you wish you could change, from here. This present moment is enough to begin. You can begin with the way you speak to yourself tonight. You can begin with the way you listen to your body. You can begin with the way you stop chasing what does not bring peace. You can begin with the way you allow yourself to want more than survival. You can begin by no longer making your own heart the last place you return. Choosing yourself is also choosing trust. Trust that life will not abandon you when you stop abandoning yourself. Trust that the people meant to walk with you will not need you to stay wounded to keep them close. Trust that what is aligned with your spirit will not punish you for having boundaries. Trust that a life built on self-respect may feel different, but it will feel more honest. Trust that the universe can meet you in the space you create when you stop filling your life with what keeps you empty. Think of your heart like a room that has been crowded for too long. Crowded with old expectations, old voices, old guilt, old fears, old duties, old hopes that were never truly yours. Choosing yourself opens the windows. It lets light in. It lets air move. It lets the room become yours again. You do not need to throw everything away at once. You only need to begin clearing what you know is no longer healthy for your spirit. With every honest choice, the room becomes lighter. With every loving G boundary, the air becomes clearer. With every moment of self-respect, your heart remembers that it is home. There is a deep spiritual truth here. Life moves where there is openness. When you are closed around fear, life feels tight. When you are closed around guilt, life feels heavy. When you are closed around the need to please everyone, life feels limited. But when you open to your own worth, life begins to breathe through you again. New ideas come. New courage comes. New peace comes. New people, new timing, new opportunities, and new blessings can find you because you are no longer hiding behind self-neglect. You are standing in your own energy. You are available to your own life. This does not mean every outside situation changes at once. Healing is often quiet before it becomes visible. But inside, something real begins. You stop looking at yourself as someone who must earn rest. You stop treating your feelings as too much. You stop accepting confusion as love. You stop making your dreams wait until everyone else is ready. You stop giving your power to the people who do not know how to value it. And slowly, you feel yourself returning. You may feel a calm strength in your chest. You may feel a clearer voice inside. You may feel less pulled by what used to control you. This is movement. This is life starting again. Let this affirmation become part of your inner language. I choose myself with love, and life supports this choice. I honor my heart, and life opens before me. I respect my peace, and my path becomes clear. These words carry the energy of a new beginning. They do not push. They do not force. They simply remind you of your own power. Your words matter because your mind listens, your body listens, your energy listens, life listens. When you speak to yourself with love, you begin to build a reality where love feels natural, not rare. Choosing yourself also means forgiving yourself for the times you did not. Forgive yourself for staying too long in places that hurt. Forgive yourself for giving more than you had. Forgive yourself for silencing your needs. Forgive yourself for not seeing your own worth sooner. Forgive yourself for making choices from fear. My dear, you cannot heal by attacking the version of you who was trying to survive. That version needs your love, not your judgment. That version carried you here. That version kept going. That version deserves tenderness. Speak to that part of yourself with kindness. Say inside your heart, I understand why you did what you did. We are safe to choose differently now. There is great freedom in those words. We are safe to choose differently now. You are not bound to the old pattern simply because it was familiar. You are not required to keep living from the wound just because the wound has been there for years. You are not trapped in the identity of the one who gives, waits, chases, explains, and overthinks. You can become the one who rests, receives, trusts, chooses, and allows. You can become the one who no longer begs life for scraps of peace because you have decided to become peaceful within yourself. And as you choose yourself, your relationship with others begins to change. You no longer need everyone to approve of you in order to feel real. You no longer need to perform happiness to keep others comfortable. You no longer need to rescue people from the lessons they must learn. You no longer need to confuse being needed with being loved. This does not make you less caring. It makes your care cleaner. It makes your love more honest. You can be present without becoming consumed. You can be kind without becoming empty. You can support others without abandoning yourself. Choosing yourself is choosing life. It is choosing movement over emotional waiting rooms. It is choosing truth over performance. It is choosing peace over the need to be understood by everyone. It is choosing your own soul after years of placing it last. This is why your life starts moving again. Because the life meant for you cannot fully reach the version of you that keeps denying your own worth. But when you stand in self-love, when you open your hands, when you stop chasing what keeps leaving you tired, what is meant for you begins to recognize you. Peace recognizes you. Love recognizes you. Opportunity recognizes you. Your own future recognizes you. You do not need to know the whole path. You only need to choose the next honest step. Choose the thought that is kinder. Choose the boundary that protects your peace. Choose the rest your body has been asking for. Choose the dream that still calls your name. Choose the space that lets your nervous system settle. Choose the people who feel like warmth, not confusion. Choose the words that heal instead of harm. Choose yourself in these quiet ways, and over time, your whole life begins to change its direction. There is a beautiful power in becoming loyal to your own heart, not stubborn, not closed, loyal. Loyal enough to listen when something feels wrong. Loyal enough to stay near yourself when old guilt rises. Loyal enough to keep choosing peace even when the old pattern calls your name. Loyal enough to stop bargaining with your own pain. Loyal enough to believe that your life is worth protecting. When you become loyal to yourself, you stop being easily pulled away from your center. You may still feel emotions. You may still have hard days, but you no longer leave yourself alone inside them. My dear, this is the healing decision before you now. Choose yourself not as an act of rejection toward others, but as an act of return to your own soul. Choose yourself because life gave you this heart to care for. Choose yourself because your body has carried you through so much and deserves tenderness. Choose yourself because your dreams did not come to you by accident. Choose yourself because your peace is not a small thing. Choose yourself because the universe moves through the person who is willing to be present in their own life. Choose yourself because you are worthy of the same love, patience, and care that you have offered so freely to others. You are not selfish for wanting a life that feels peaceful. You are not wrong for growing beyond old patterns. You are not difficult for having needs. You are not too much because your heart asks for honesty. You are not cold because you no longer want to chase. You are healing. You are returning. You are remembering. And as you remember who you are, life begins to move around that truth. The stuck places begin to soften. The old weight begins to loosen. The path begins to breathe. Let this be the new foundation under your life. I choose myself now. I choose the life within me. I choose peace without apology. I choose love that includes me. I choose healing that does not require me to disappear. I choose to walk with myself, not away from myself. And as these words settle in your heart, something begins to change. Not because you forced it, but because you aligned with truth. Not because you became someone else, but because you finally stopped leaving yourself behind. This is where life starts moving again. This is where your energy returns. This is where the next door begins to open. My dear, there is a kind of guilt that appears when you begin to choose yourself. It does not always come because you are doing something wrong. Sometimes it comes because you are finally doing something different. You may have lived for so long as the one who gives, the one who understands, the one who makes peace, the one who keeps going even when your heart is tired. So when you finally turn toward yourself with care, the old pattern may rise and ask, who do you think you are? Why are you resting? Why are you saying no? Why are you not carrying what you used to carry? But that voice is not the voice of truth. It is the voice of old training. It is the voice of a life where your needs were pushed aside for too long. And today, with love, you are allowed to answer that voice differently. You are allowed to say, I can love others and still honor myself. I can care deeply and still have limits. I can be kind and still choose peace. I can be generous without giving away my whole spirit. These truths may feel new to your body because for many years you may have been taught that goodness means self-sacrifice. You may have been praised for being easy, quiet, useful, strong, and available. You may have been loved most when you asked for the least. You may have learned to measure your worth by how little trouble you caused for others. But my dear, that is not the full truth of love. Love does not ask you to disappear. Love does not ask you to become tired, silent, and empty. Love is not proven by how much pain you can hide. The guilt of choosing yourself often comes from the fear of disappointing others. You may fear that if you stop overgiving, people will think you have changed, and perhaps you have changed. Perhaps you are hanging in the most beautiful way. You are changing from someone who abandons themselves into someone who stands beside themselves. You are changing from someone who says yes from fear into someone who says yes from truth. You are changing from someone who carries everything alone into someone who allows life to support them. This kind of change may not please every person, especially those who benefited from the old version of you. But your healing is not meant to be approved by everyone. Your healing is meant to bring you home. There is a deep difference between love and people-pleasing. Love comes from fullness. People-pleasing comes from fear. Love says, I give because my heart is open. People-pleasing says, I give because I'm afraid of being rejected. Love feels warm in the body. People-pleasing feels tight. Love leaves room for both people to exist. People-pleasing makes you vanish so the other person can stay comfortable. When you begin to notice this difference, you begin to free yourself. You start to understand that every yes is not loving. Some yeses are betrayals of your own peace. Some yeses are old wounds trying to earn safety. Some yeses are fear asking to be liked. And when you see this, you can begin to choose a healthier way. My dear, you are allowed to say no without becoming cruel. You are allowed to rest without asking for permission. You are allowed to leave a conversation that harms your spirit. You are allowed to stop explaining your pain to someone who keeps misunderstanding it. You are allowed to step back from people who only value you when you are useful. You are allowed to stop being the place where everyone drops their heaviness while no one asks how your heart is doing. This does not make you unloving. It makes you honest. It means you have finally understood that your peace is not a small thing. Your energy is not endless. Your heart is not a thing to be used until it breaks. If guilt rises when you choose yourself, do not fight it with anger. Meet it with understanding. Say to yourself, this guilt is old. It is not proof that I am wrong. It is proof that I am stepping out of an old pattern. This small act of awareness changes everything. Instead of letting guilt control you, you begin to see it as a passing feeling, not a command. You can feel guilt and still choose peace. You can feel discomfort and still honor your truth. You can feel the old fear and still move toward healing. Feelings are not always instructions. Sometimes they are simply echoes from the past. Think of the times you ignored yourself because guilt was louder than your inner knowing. Maybe you said yes when your body was exhausted. Maybe you stayed in a place where your spirit felt heavy because leaving felt selfish. Maybe you kept giving love to someone who returned confusion. Maybe you accepted less because asking for more felt dangerous. And perhaps afterward, you felt even more tired, more unseen, more far away from yourself. This is how guilt keeps a life stuck. It convinces you that choosing others at your own expense is love, then leaves you empty and calls that emptiness noble. But your soul knows better. Your soul knows that love without self-respect becomes pain. Today, you are learning a new way. You are learning that you can put yourself first in a peaceful, sacred, loving way. Putting yourself first does not mean everyone else becomes last. It means you are no longer last in your own life. It means you stop building a life where your needs are always postponed. It means you stop making your body pay the price for everyone else's comfort. It means you stop asking your heart to survive on the small pieces left over after everyone else has taken what they need. You are not here to live from leftovers. You are here to live from love. There may be people who call your boundaries selfish because they were used to your silence. There may be people who call your rest laziness because they were used to your overgiving. There may be people who call your healing distance because they were used to having access to every part of you. Let them have their feelings. You do not need to fight every opinion. You do not need to explain the sacred work happening inside your heart. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is stay gentle with yourself while others adjust to the new version of you. Growth does not need to be defended at every door. Truth has its own quiet strength. You may ask, how can I know the difference between healthy care and losing myself? Listen to your body. When care is healthy, there is warmth, even if effort is required. When self-abandonment is happening, there is tightness, heaviness, resentment, or fear. Your body tells the truth before your mind creates excuses. Your chest may tighten when you are about to betray yourself. Your stomach may feel heavy when you are about to say yes from guilt. Your energy may drop after you give from emptiness. These signals are not weakness. They are wisdom. They are your inner life asking you to come closer. Choosing yourself means listening when your body speaks. It means no longer forcing yourself to stay in situations that make your spirit small. It means no longer telling yourself it is fine when something inside you knows it is not fine. It means no longer covering your pain with spiritual words while your heart is quietly asking for truth. Real healing is not pretending that everything feels good. Real healing is allowing yourself to notice what does not feel good and choosing with kindness from there. My dear, guilt often appears around rest. You may feel guilty for lying down, for slowing down, for needing quiet, for not answering right away, for taking care of your body. But rest is not a reward for being perfect. Rest is part of being alive. The body was not created to run on pressure forever. The heart was not created to carry worry without relief. The mind was not created to live in constant noise. When you rest, you are not wasting time. You are returning to Balan, Shabai. You are allowing your body to repair, your mind to soften, and your spirit to breathe. There is deep wisdom in rest. There is deep love in rest. You may also feel guilty for wanting more peace, more truth, more love, more space, more joy, more meaning. But wanting more from life does not mean you are ungrateful. It means something within you is alive. Desire can be sacred when it comes from the soul. It is not wrong to want a life that feels honest. It is not wrong to want love that feels safe. It is not wrong to want work, relationships, and days that do not drain every part of you. Gratitude for what you have and desire for what is next can live together. You can bless the present and still listen to the future calling you forward. Let your heart hear this clearly. You do not owe anyone your self-abandonment. You do not owe anyone your silence. You do not owe anyone your peace in exchange for approval. You do not owe anyone the version of you who never had needs. You are allowed to grow. You are allowed to change your mind. You are allowed to decide that what once felt acceptable no longer feels aligned. You are allowed to become someone who honors their own life. And when guilt says, "But what about them?" you can gently answer, "I can care about them without betraying myself." This is one of the most important truths in healing. You can care without carrying. You can love without losing yourself. You can support without becoming responsible for another person's whole life. You can forgive without returning to the same pain. You can understand someone and still protect your peace. You can have compassion for why someone acts the way they do and still decide that their behavior is not healthy for you. This is maturity. This is self-love. This is the kind of love that does not destroy you. Sometimes choosing yourself will feel like standing in a quiet room after years of noise. At first, the quiet may feel strange. You may be tempted to fill it with old duties, old worries, old messages, old habits. But stay with the quiet. The quiet is where your soul begins to speak again. The quiet is where you remember what you like, what you need, what you feel, what you dream. The quiet is not emptiness, it is space. And space is where new life begins. When you release guilt, you create space for joy. Not a loud joy, not a forced joy, but a deep inner ease. The kind of ease that comes when you are no longer fighting yourself. The kind of ease that comes when your choices match your truth. The kind of ease that comes when you stop living as if your worth must be proven every day. This ease is healing. It tells your body, we are safe now. We are listening now. We are no longer using ourselves as payment for love. You may not release all guilt at once. That is okay. Healing is not a race. Each time guilt rises, you can meet it with love. Each time the old pattern calls, You can choose a little more truth. Each time you feel pulled to abandon yourself, you can return to your heart. Over time, guilt loses its power. Over time, peace becomes more familiar. Over time, choosing yourself no longer feels like a threat. It feels like home. Let this be the new message you give your heart. I am allowed to choose peace. I am allowed to honor my needs. I am allowed to love myself without apology. I am allowed to care for others without losing myself. I am allowed to become whole. These words are simple, but they are powerful. They begin to clear the old belief that your goodness depends on your exhaustion. They remind your inner world that love includes you too. My dear, there is nothing holy about self-neglect. There is nothing loving about abandoning your own soul. There is nothing spiritual about staying in pain just to keep the surface calm. True peace is not the absence of conflict outside you. True peace is the presence of truth inside you. When you choose yourself, you are choosing that truth. You are choosing to stop living divided. You are choosing to let your inner life and outer life come closer together. This is why your life starts moving again, because energy that was trapped in guilt becomes available for healing. Energy that was trapped in fear becomes available for growth. Energy that was trapped in pleasing becomes available for your own beautiful becoming. When you choose yourself, something changes in your energy before it changes in your outer life. You may not see everything move right away, but you feel something return. A small strength in your chest. A deeper calm in your breath. A quiet knowing that says, I am no longer available for what keeps breaking me. This is not pride. This is not ego. This is your life force coming home. For so long, your energy may have been scattered across people, memories, worries, fears, and old hopes. You may have left pieces of yourself in conversations that never healed, in relationships that never felt safe, in dreams you kept delaying, in rooms where you had to shrink to belong. But the moment you choose yourself, those pieces begin to return. Energy is sacred. It is the invisible power behind your thoughts, your choices, your voice, your health, your hope, your ability to move forward. When your energy is tied to trying to be chosen, you feel tired. When your energy is tied to proving your worth, you feel tense. When your energy is tied to making everyone happy, you feel heavy. When your energy is tied to the past, you feel stuck. But when your energy returns to your own heart, you feel clearer. You begin to know what matters. You begin to hear your own needs. You begin to feel the difference between peace and attachment, between love and fear, between patience and self-abandonment. This is why choosing yourself has such deep power. It changes the message you send to life. Before, the message may have been, I will accept anything if it means I am not alone. I will stay where I am not honored if it means I am not rejected. I will overgive if it means I am needed. I will silence myself if it means others stay close. But now the message becomes different. Now it says, I am worthy of peace. I am worthy of love that does not confuse me. I am worthy of spaces where I can breathe. I am worthy of a life that does not require me to disappear. Life responds to this energy. Life always responds to what you believe you are worthy to receive. When you choose yourself, you stop chasing what keeps moving away from you. And this is a beautiful moment. The chase takes so much from the heart. Chasing approval, chasing love, chasing attention, chasing the perfect answer, chasing someone's change, chasing a version of life that only comes when you abandon your own truth. Chasing makes the spirit tired because it is built on the belief that something outside you holds the key to your worth. But the moment you stop chasing, your energy settles. You come back into your own center. You remember that what belongs to your soul does not need to be begged into staying. This does not mean you stop caring. It means you stop collapsing. It means you stop handing your peace to situations that cannot hold it. It means you stop turning every silence into a question about your value. It means you stop letting someone's distance decide whether you are lovable. It means you stop living as if the outside world has the final word on who you are. My dear, no person, no delay, no closed door, no old wound has the authority to decide your worth. Your worth was placed within you by life itself. It has never depended on who saw it, who missed it, who honored it, or who failed to understand it. The energy shift begins when you stop looking at yourself through the eyes of those who could not love you well. You stop asking, why was I not enough for them? And begin asking, why did I leave myself trying to become enough? This question is not meant to hurt you. It is meant to free you. It brings the power back. It helps you understand that the deepest healing is not getting everyone to finally see your worth. The deepest healing is seeing it yourself and living from that truth. When you see your worth, you stop auditioning for love. You stop shrinking for acceptance. You stop confusing intensity with connection. You stop calling pain familiar and mistaking it for home. Choosing yourself changes how you walk into a room. Not because you need to impress anyone, but because you are no longer asking the room to tell you who you are. You bring yourself with you. Your energy becomes steadier. You speak with more honesty. You listen to your own body. You do not feel the same need to explain every choice. You do not feel the same pull to soften your truth until it becomes invisible. There is a calm power in you that does not need to be loud. It is the power of someone who has stopped fighting their own heart. This energy is magnetic, not because it tries to attract, but because it is true. When you are no longer begging for love, you become available to receive real love. When you are no longer forcing doors, you become available to see the doors that are already opening. When you are no longer spending your life proving yourself, you become available to create, rest, grow, and enjoy. The energy that once went into fear now returns as life. The energy that once went into overthinking now returns as clarity. The energy that once went into people-pleasing now returns as purpose. My dear, this is why your life starts moving again. It is not because choosing yourself magically controls everything outside you. It is because choosing yourself removes the inner blocks that kept your own life force trapped. You stop waiting for permission. You stop asking the past to bless your future. You stop making your peace depend on someone else's healing. You stop feeding the belief that you must suffer to be loved. And as these blocks soften, life begins to flow through you more freely. Ideas come, courage comes, rest comes, new choices come. A sense of possibility returns. You may begin to notice that certain things no longer pull you the way they used to. The message you used to wait for may not control your day as much. The opinion you used to fear may not feel as heavy. The old habit of explaining yourself may begin to fade. The need to be chosen by someone who cannot meet you may begin to lose its power. This is healing. This is energy returning. This is your spirit saying, I remember now. I remember that I belong to myself. I remember that life can meet me in new ways. I remember that I do not need to chase what is already aligned with my soul. The shift may also bring clarity about what must be released. Not everything can come with the version of you that chooses peace. Some patterns cannot survive in your new energy. Some relationships may need more honesty. Some habits may need to end. Some old dreams may need to be replaced by truer ones. Some spaces may no longer feel right because your spirit has grown. This is not loss in the way fear tells it. This is alignment. When you choose yourself, life begins to remove, reveal, and rearrange. It removes what drains you. It reveals what strengthens you. It rearranges what is ready to support your growth. At first, this rearranging can feel uncertain. The mind likes what is familiar, even when the familiar hurts. It may say, go back, explain again, try harder, give more, do not change too much. But your soul will speak differently. Your soul will say, stay with the peace, stay with the truth, stay with the version of you that is finally breathing. You do not need to obey every old fear. You do not need to return to every old door. You do not need to rebuild what broke you just because the silence feels new. Let the new space remain open. Life knows how to fill open space with what matches your healing. There is a beautiful moment when you realize that the peace you were begging for from the outside can begin inside you. It begins when you stop arguing with your own needs. It begins when you treat our feelings as worthy of care. It begins when you no longer use your past as proof that nothing good can happen. It begins when you stop waking up and immediately handing your mind to worry. It begins when you choose one loving thought and let it guide the next part of your day. This is not small. This is creation. Every loving thought is a seed. Every clear choice is a doorway. Every boundary is a return. Every moment of self-respect is life moving again. When your energy shifts, your standards shift too. You no longer ask only, do they like me? You begin to ask, do I feel peaceful here? You no longer ask only, can I make this work? You begin to ask, is this healthy for my spirit? You no longer ask only, what if I lose this? You begin to ask, what do I lose if I keep abandoning myself? These questions change your life. They bring you out of fear and into truth. They help you stop choosing from old wounds and start choosing from inner wisdom. And as your standards shift, your self-talk shifts. You begin to speak to yourself with more patience. You stop calling yourself foolish for loving deeply. You stop blaming yourself for not knowing better before. You stop treating your healing like a race. You begin to say, I am learning, I am growing, I am safe to change, I am allowed to become someone new. This new voice inside you becomes a home. It becomes the voice that steadies you when fear rises. It becomes the voice that reminds you not to return to what emptied you. It becomes the voice that says, choose peace again. Choose yourself again. Choose the life that feels true again. The more you choose yourself, the less you need to control everything. Control often comes from fear. It says, if I do not manage every detail, I will not be safe. But self-trust says, I can meet life as it comes. I can listen to myself. I can make choices that honor me. I can adjust. I can begin again. This is a softer way to live. It does not mean you have no plans. It means your plans are no longer built on panic. It does not mean you do not care. It means care no longer turns into self-punishment. It does not mean you stop dreaming. It means your dreams are now rooted in worth, not desperation. My dear, desperation carries one kind of energy. Trust carries another. Desperation says, I must have this or I am nothing. Trust says, what is meant for me can meet me in peace. Desperation grips. Trust opens. Desperation drains. Trust restores. When you choose yourself, you begin to move from desperation into trust. You stop trying to force love, force timing, force answers, force people, force outcomes. You begin to understand that what requires you to betray your own soul cannot be the full blessing. The blessing that belongs to your life will not demand the loss of your inner peace. This is where the energy becomes clean. You are no longer sending mixed messages to life. You are no longer saying, "I want peace," while choosing what keeps you anxious. You are no longer saying, "I want love," while accepting what makes you feel invisible. You are no longer saying, "I want freedom," while living from guilt. You are no longer saying, "I want movement," while refusing to release what keeps you stuck. Your inner and outer choices begin to match. That matching is alignment. And alignment is where life begins to move with you instead of feeling like something you must fight. Feel the strength in this truth. I do not need to chase what is not choosing me. I do not need to force what is not flowing. I do not need to carry what is not mine. I choose my peace, and my life begins to move. These words are not walls, they are doors. They open you to a kind of love that includes your own heart. They open you to a kind of life where your energy is respected. They open you to a future that does not ask you to stay small. As you live from this energy, you may begin to attract differently, not because you are performing, but because you are no longer available for the same old pattern. Your calm will begin to choose differently. Your peace will begin to recognize what is peaceful. Your self-respect will begin to notice where respect is present and where it is missing. Your heart will no longer be as easily pulled by words without action. Your soul will no longer be satisfied with being half seen. This is not judgment. This is wisdom. Choosing yourself does not close the heart. It clears the heart. It removes the fog of fear, guilt, and old longing. It allows love to become more honest. It allows your yes to become meaningful because it is no longer forced. It allows your no to become loving because it protects what is sacred. It allows your presence to become fuller because you are no longer leaving yourself behind. This is the energy shift. You become more present in your own life. And the more present you become, the more life can reach you. My dear, you are not here to spend your whole life proving that you deserve to be loved. You are here to live as someone who is already worthy of love. You are not here to chase every closed door. You are here to walk through the doors that open with peace. You are not here to empty yourself for connection. You are here to experience connection that nourishes both hearts. When this truth settles into your energy, your life cannot stay the same. It must begin to move because you are no longer standing in the same place inside yourself. Let the old energy leave gently. Let the need to prove soften. Let the fear of being too much dissolve. Let the habit of chasing lose its hold. Let the belief that you must suffer to receive love fall away. You are allowed to be loved in peace. You are allowed to receive without begging. You are allowed to be chosen without abandoning yourself. You are allowed to stand in your worth and let life meet you there. This is the energy of a new chapter. This is the energy of coming home. This is the energy that opens the path ahead. My dear Ben, Eath all the noise of the world, there is a quiet voice within you that has always known the way. It does not shout. It does not force. It does not beg for attention. It speaks through peace. It speaks through discomfort. It speaks through the small feeling that something is right or something is not right. It speaks through the heaviness you feel when you keep betraying yourself. It speaks through the lightness that comes when you tell yourself the truth. This inner voice has never left you. You may have ignored it. You may have doubted it. You may have covered it with fear, pressure, and other people's opinions. But it is still there, waiting for you to listen. So many times, you may have known what you needed before you allowed yourself to admit it. You may have known a situation was draining you, but you told yourself to be patient. You may have known a connection did not feel safe, but you told yourself to understand more. You may have known your body needed rest, but you told yourself to keep going. You may have known your dream mattered, but you told yourself it was not the right time. My dear, the inner voice often speaks before the mind feels ready. The mind wants reasons. The mind wants proof. The mind wants everyone to agree. But the soul knows through feeling. The soul knows through quiet truth. Your inner voice is not fear. Fear is loud, rushed, and full of panic. Your inner voice is steady. It may be firm, but it is not cruel. It may ask you to change, but it does not shame you. It may guide you away from something, but it does not fill you with hate. It brings clarity, not chaos. It brings a deep sense of knowing, even when the next step feels new. Learning to tell the difference between fear and inner wisdom is part of choosing yourself. Fear says, stay small so no one leaves. Wisdom says, choose truth so you do not leave yourself. Fear says, what if everything goes wrong? Wisdom says, you will know how to meet the next moment. Fear says, you are not ready. Wisdom says, you are allowed to begin from where you are. For years, you may have been taught to trust everything outside you more than what lives within you. Trust the opinions, trust the rules, trust the expectations, trust the way things have always been done, trust the people who speak the loudest. But my dear, your life is not meant to be guided only by outside noise. There is a sacred intelligence inside you. It is connected to life itself. It knows what brings peace to your body. It knows what expands your heart. It knows what closes you down. It knows what is no longer aligned. When you keep ignoring this wisdom, life feels confusing. When you begin to listen, the path becomes clearer. Listening to your inner voice does not mean you will always know the whole future. It means you know the next honest step. Sometimes the next step is rest. Sometimes it is telling the truth. Sometimes it is not answering from fear. Sometimes it is leaving me thing alone. Sometimes it is giving yourself permission to want more. Sometimes it is choosing silence over explaining. Sometimes it is beginning the thing you have delayed. The inner voice usually guides in simple ways. It does not always give a full map. It gives enough light for the place where your feet are. You might wonder why it feels hard to hear this voice. It is often because life has been too loud around you. Too much pressure, too many expectations, too much fear of disappointing people, too much comparison, too much old pain. The inner voice does not disappear in this noise, but it becomes harder to notice. This is why quiet moments matter. Not forced silence, not strict practice, but gentle space where you are no longer running from yourself. A quiet morning, a peaceful walk, a soft moment before sleep, a few honest lines written from the heart, a hand placed over the chest while you ask, "What do I truly need?" In these simple spaces, the voice grows clearer. And when you ask what you truly need, be willing to hear the answer. Sometimes the answer may be softer than you expect. You may need rest. You may need kindness. You may need to stop speaking to yourself with judgment. You may need beauty. You may need honest love. You may need distance from what drains you. You may need courage to begin again. You may need to stop waiting for someone to choose you before you choose your own life. Whatever the answer is, receive it with gentleness. Your needs are not enemies. They are messengers. They are part of the way your soul guides you back to balance. My dear, the inner voice becomes stronger when you honor it. Every time you listen to your truth and act with love, trust grows. Every time you ignore it, doubt grows. This is not said to blame you. It is said to remind you that trust can be rebuilt. If you have spent years doubting yourself, you can begin again. You can rebuild self-trust through small, honest choices. When your body asks for rest and you allow rest, trust grows. When your heart says, "This is not good for me," and you step back, trust grows. When your spirit says, "This dream matters," and you give it space, trust grows. Self-trust is not built through perfect choices. It is built through returning to yourself again and again. There may have been times in your life when you did not trust yourself because you made choices that led to pain. Be gentle with that. Many choices are made from the level of safety and love we knew at the time. When you did not know your worth, you chose from fear. When you did not feel safe, you chose what felt familiar. When you wanted love deeply, you may have accepted less than you deserved. That does not mean you cannot trust yourself now. It means you were learning. It means you were surviving. Now you can choose with more awareness. Now you can listen more closely. Now you can become a safe place for your own heart. Your inner voice will not always agree with your old comfort zone. It may lead you beyond what feels familiar. It may ask you to stop repeating a pattern that once gave you a sense of safety. It may guide you toward a new chapter before you feel fully ready. This can be tender, but remember, comfort is not always peace. Sometimes comfort is only the old pain you know well. Peace may feel unfamiliar at first because your body has not lived there long enough. The inner voice may guide you toward that unfamiliar peace. It may say, "This is calmer, stay here. This is honest, trust this. This is lighter, allow it. This is not your old pattern, but it is good for you." When you choose yourself, you stop asking everyone else to approve what your soul already knows. This is a powerful shift. You no longer need to explain every feeling until someone agrees it is valid. You no longer need to make a committee out of your healing. You no longer need to wait for someone who hurt you to admit the wound before you begin caring for it. Your inner voice becomes enough to begin. You can still listen to wise support. You can still receive loving guidance. But you no longer hand your whole truth away to outside opinion. You begin to understand that your soul has a language and you are learning to speak it. Sometimes the inner voice will guide you through a simple feeling of relief. Notice what brings relief to your body. Notice what makes your breathing easier. Notice what helps your shoulders soften. Notice what brings quiet joy. Relief is often a sign that you have touched truth. Not every good thing is loud. Not every blessing arrives with excitement. Sometimes what is right for you feels peaceful, steady, and simple. You may have overlooked peace before because you were used to intensity. But intensity is not always love. Confusion is not always depth. Longing is not always destiny. Sometimes destiny feels like calm. Sometimes the right path feels like the place where your nervous system can finally rest. Your inner voice also knows when something is complete. This can be hard because the heart may still care even when the soul knows it is time to release. You can love something and still know it is no longer aligned. You can be grateful for what something taught you and still not carry it forward. You can miss a person, a place, or a dream and still choose the peace of letting go. The inner voice does not always remove love. Sometimes it adds wisdom to love. It says love is here, but this pattern cannot continue. Care is here, but self-betrayal must end. Memory is here, but your life is calling you forward. There is a quiet courage in listening to yourself. It may not look dramatic from the outside, but inside it is sacred. To choose your peace when guilt is loud is courage. To believe your own feelings after years of doubt is courage. To walk away from what keeps hurting you is courage. To begin again without everyone understanding is courage. To rest when your old self wants to prove is courage. To speak gently to yourself when criticism feels familiar is courage. These are not small things. These are the building blocks of a life that belongs to you. Let your inner voice become a trusted friend. Ask it gently, what is true for me now? What feels peaceful? What feels heavy? What am I ready to release? What am I ready to receive? What part of me needs love today? These questions open a doorway inside. They turn your attention inward where real guidance begins. Do not demand instant answers. Let the answers rise naturally. Sometimes the body answers with calm. Sometimes the heart answers through tears. Sometimes the mind answers later when you are no longer forcing it. Trust the timing of your own wisdom. My dear, you are not lost. You may be covered in old noise, but you are not lost. You may be tired, but you are not lost. You may be between chapters, but you are not lost. You may not see the whole path, but the deeper part of you still knows how to move toward life. The same intelligence that beats your heart and carries your breath is also guiding your becoming. You do not have to control every detail. You do not have to know every answer. You only need to stay close to yourself. When you stay close to yourself, the next step becomes clearer. And if you have ignored your inner voice before, forgive yourself. Forgive yourself for the times you knew but were afraid. Forgive yourself for the times you stayed because leaving felt too hard. Forgive yourself for the times you chose approval over peace. Forgive yourself for the times you doubted the truth in your own body. You were learning how to listen. You were learning how to trust. You were learning how to choose yourself. Now you can begin again with kindness. The inner voice does not punish you for returning late. It simply welcomes you back. There is a beautiful freedom in knowing that guidance lives within you. You do not need to chase signs in every direction. You do not need to ask the world to define your worth. You do not need to keep handing your peace to people who are unsure of their own. You can become still enough to hear what life is saying through you. You can become loving enough to trust it. You can become brave enough to act on it. This is how your life starts moving again. Not because every outside door opens at once, but because the door inside you opens first. Let this truth settle softly in your heart. My inner voice is safe to hear. My needs are safe to honor. My truth is safe to follow. I trust the wisdom that lives within me. These words help you return to the guide that was never gone. They remind you that choosing yourself is not a step away from life. It is a step deeper into life. It is how you stop wandering outside yourself and begin walking from your own center. As you continue on this path, be patient with yourself. Some days your inner voice will feel clear. Other days, fear may be louder. That does not mean you have failed. It means you are human. Keep returning. Keep listening. Keep choosing the thought, the action, the space, and the path that brings you closer to peace. Over time, your inner voice will feel less like a whisper and more like home. You will know the feeling of truth in your body. You will recognize the sound of peace. You will no longer need to abandon yourself to belong anywhere else. My dear, your life begins to move again when you stop leaving your own wisdom behind. You do not need to become perfect. You do not need to become fearless. You only need to become honest. Honest with your heart. Honest with your body. Honest with your energy. Honest with the quiet knowing that has been trying to guide you toward freedom. Choose yourself now by listening. Choose yourself now by trusting what feels true. Choose yourself now by allowing your own soul to have a voice in the life you are creating. My dear, there comes a time when you must stop waiting for the world to say you are allowed to become new. You must stop waiting for someone to understand your healing before you begin. You must stop waiting for every person from your past to bless the version of you that is trying to rise. Your life is not meant to stay closed until everyone agrees that you are ready. Your heart does not need outside permission to return to peace. Your soul does not need approval to grow beyond an old story. You are allowed to begin again because life is still moving through you. You are allowed to choose a new direction because the old one has taught you enough. You are allowed to become free, even if some people only knew how to love the version of you who stayed small. For a long time, you may have waited for the right time, waited for someone to change, waited for someone to say they were sorry, waited for someone to see your pain clearly, waited for your fear to disappear before you made a choice, waited for confidence to arrive before you took a step, waited for your life to become perfect before you gave yourself permission to live it fully. But my dear, if you keep waiting for perfect conditions, you may wait away your own life. The new life does not begin because everything outside you becomes easy. It begins because something inside you finally becomes honest. You do not need to feel completely ready to begin again. Readiness often grows after you begin. The mind wants certainty before it moves, but the soul often moves by trust. It feels the truth before the path is fully visible. It says, "This is not where I am meant to stay." It says, "This is not the way I am meant to be loved." It says, "This is not the life my heart came here to live." At first, that voice may be soft, but the more you honor it, the clearer it becomes. And soon you understand that beginning again is not running away from life. It is returning to life. Maybe you have been afraid to begin again because you worry what others will think. You worry they will say you have changed. You worry they will not understand your boundaries. You worry they will judge you, your choices, your dreams, your silence, your healing, your peace. But my dear, you did not come here to become a shape that everyone finds easy to hold. You came here to live as your true self. If your growth makes someone uncomfortable, that does not mean your growth is wrong. It may only mean they were used to a version of you who did not question the pattern. There is a quiet grief in no longer being who others expect you to be. You may miss the old comfort, even if it hurt. You may miss being needed, even if it drained you. You may miss the familiar role, even if it kept you trapped. This is natural. The heart can grieve what it is leaving and still know it must leave. You can be grateful for who you were and still become someone new. You can honor the past without living inside it forever. You can love people and still stop shaping your life around their expectations. Growth does not mean you reject everything behind you. It means you carry forward only what helps your soul breathe. Stop waiting for someone to give you permission to rest. Your body has already asked. Stop waiting for someone to give you permission to heal. Your heart has already asked. Stop waiting for someone to give you permission to dream again. Your soul has already asked. The permission you are looking for is not outside you. It is in the quiet place within you that already knows what is true. It is in the part of you that has been whispering, I cannot keep living against myself. I cannot keep calling this heaviness normal. I cannot keep choosing fear over the life that is calling me forward. You may think you need a clear sign before you change, but perhaps the sign is the tiredness you feel when you keep pretending. Perhaps the sign is the peace that comes when you imagine choosing differently. Perhaps the sign is the way your body relaxes when you admit the truth. Perhaps the sign is the deep knowing that you have outgrown what once felt safe. Life does not always send thunder. Sometimes life speaks through relief. Sometimes life speaks through the quiet pull towards something softer. Sometimes life speaks through the ache that says, this is not the end of your story. My dear, your healing does not need to be understood by everyone to be real. Your boundary does not need to be popular to be healthy. Your dream does not need to make sense to every person around you to be sacred. Your new life does not need to look impressive from the outside to be deeply right for your soul. When you stop waiting for approval, you begin to feel your own authority, not control, not hardness, authority. The gentle inner strength that says, I can choose what honors my peace. I can walk toward what feels true. I can trust the quiet wisdom inside me. There is freedom in no longer asking the old world to open the new door. The old world may not know how. The old world may only know the version of you who adjusted, accepted, stayed, and carried. But the new door opens from within. It opens when you say, I am allowed to grow. I am allowed to begin again. I am allowed to stop living from the wound. I am allowed to choose the life that feels honest now. These words are not rebellion. They are healing. They are the sound of the soul stepping out of an old room and into fresh air. Maybe someone will not understand your silence. Maybe someone will not understand why you no longer chase. Maybe someone will not understand why you no longer explain yourself again and again. That is okay. Your peace is not a public argument. Your healing is not a courtroom. You do not need to prove your pain to deserve care. You do not need to show every scar to justify a boundary. You do not need to convince everyone that you have the right to choose your life. You already have that right because this life was given to you to live. Beginning again can be gentle. It can begin with a new thought. It can begin with a softer morning. It can begin with a decision to stop answering from fear. It can begin with leaving space where you used to fill everything with worry. It can begin with saying no to what drains you and yes to what steadies you. It can begin with no longer returning to conversations that leave you feeling small. It can begin with allowing yourself to want more peace. The beginning does not need to be loud. It only needs to be true. You may be afraid that if you choose a new path, you will lose what is familiar. But my dear, the familiar is not always the same as safe. Sometimes the familiar is a pattern your heart learned to survive. Sometimes the familiar is a room with no space for your full self. Sometimes the familiar is a kind of love that kept you hungry. Sometimes the familiar is an old belief that says you must struggle to deserve good. When you choose yourself, you are not losing your life. You are losing the parts that were never truly allowing you to live. The life ahead of you does not require the approval of the life behind you. Let that truth rest inside your heart. The person you are becoming does not need permission from the person you had to be in survival. The peace you are choosing does not need permission from the pain that trained you. The dream that is calling you does not need permission from the fear that tried to protect you. You can thank the old version of yourself for carrying you this far, and then gently let that version rest. You can say, "We made it here. Now we are allowed to live differently." And as you stop waiting for permission, your energy begins to move. The energy that was trapped in hesitation begins to return. The energy that was used to explain, prove, and ask for approval begins to come home. You may feel more clear. You may feel more honest. You may feel moments of discomfort because old patterns do not always leave quietly. But beneath that discomfort, there will be truth. There will be a small, steady light. There will be a knowing that says, "This is the way back to myself." My dear, you are allowed to begin again even if yesterday was hard. You are allowed to begin again even if you made choices from fear before. You are allowed to begin again even if other people are still holding an old picture of you. You are allowed to begin again even if you do not yet know the full shape of the future. Life does not ask you to know everything. It asks you to become present with what is true now. And what is true now is that your heart is ready for more honesty, more peace, and more self-love. Let the new message become simple inside you. I do not need permission to choose peace. I do not need permission to honor my life. I do not need permission to begin again. I trust the call within me. I trust the life that is moving me forward. These words are a doorway. Walk through them with gentleness. Walk through them with courage. Walk through them knowing that choosing yourself is not the end of love. It is the beginning of love that includes you. Returning to yourself does not have to be difficult. It does not need to become another task that makes you feel behind. It can be soft. It can be simple. It can be woven into the way you speak, the way you breathe, the way you choose, the way you end a day, and the way you begin again. The most powerful healing often begins in small moments of honesty. A moment when you ask yourself, "What do I need?" A moment when you notice how your body feels. A moment when you stop rushing to please and listen to the quiet truth inside. A moment when you speak to yourself with kindness instead of judgment. These moments may look small, but they are sacred because each one brings you back home. My dear, for so long, you may have asked everyone else what they needed from you. You may have asked how to keep peace, how to help, how to fix, how to make things easier for others. But how often have you asked yourself what you need? How often have you turned inward with the same tenderness you offer the world? How often have you said to your own heart, "I am listening"? This is where the practice begins. Not with pressure, not with perfection, with listening. Your heart does not need you to perform healing. It needs you to be present. Start by becoming aware of your own inner weather. Some days your heart may feel open. Some days it may feel tired. Some days your body may feel heavy. Some days your mind may feel full. Instead of judging what you find, greet it. Say inside yourself, "I see this. I can be kind to this. I do not need to fight myself today." This simple kindness changes the energy within you. It tells your body that you are no longer an enemy. It tells your heart that it does not have to hide. It tells your mind that healing is safe. Then ask yourself gently, what would support me today? The answer may not be dramatic. It may be rest. It may be water. It may be a kind thought. It may be stepping away from a conversation. It may be finishing something small. It may be giving yourself space to feed. It may be choosing not to check on what hurts you. It may be opening the window, moving slowly, writing the truth, or letting your body relax. The answer does not need to impress anyone. It only needs to be honest. When you honor a simple need, self-trust begins to grow. There is a deep healing in asking yourself this question because it reverses the old pattern of self-abandonment. Before, you may have asked, what will make them happy? What will keep them close? What will avoid conflict? What will make me look strong? Now you begin asking, what is loving toward me? What is peaceful for my body? What choice lets my spirit breathe? These questions guide you into a new life. They teach your nervous system that your own well-being matters. They teach your heart that it is safe to speak. They teach your energy to return from the places where it has been overextended. Speak to yourself as someone you love. This is a practice that can change the whole tone of your life. Notice the words you use inside your mind. Are they sharp? Are they impatient? Are they full of blame? Do they sound like someone from your past who did not know how to love you well? If so, do not shame yourself. Simply begin again with a softer voice. Say, I am learning. I am safe to grow. I forgive myself for not knowing sooner. I am proud of myself for trying. I deserve kindness from myself today. These words are not empty. They are nourishment. They create a new inner atmosphere where healing can take root. Your inner voice becomes the place you live. If your inner voice is always critical, life feels like a room with no warmth. If your inner voice is kind, life begins to feel more livable, even before everything changes outside you. This is why self-talk matters. You hear yourself all day. Your body hears the tone. Your heart hears the message. Your future is shaped by the thoughts you keep repeating. So let your words become a shelter instead of a weapon. Let them become a soft place to land. Let them become a bridge back to peace. A gentle practice for returning to yourself is to notice where your energy leaves you. During the day, pay attention to what makes you feel small, tense, rushed, or drained. Pay attention to what brings ease, warmth, clarity, or peace. Your energy is always teaching you. If a conversation leaves you feeling empty, listen. If a choice makes your body feel tight, listen. If a dream brings light into your chest, listen. If silence feels healing, listen. You are not meant to ignore these signals. They are part of your guidance. They help you understand where life is asking you to move closer and where it is asking you to step back. You can also return to yourself through simple acts of care. Eat as if your body matters. Rest as if your peace matters. Speak as if your words matter. Choose your surroundings as if your energy matters. Hold your own heart as if your feelings matter. These acts are not smeeing, all when they come from love. They are ways of telling your whole being, I am here now. I will not leave you again. I will not treat you like the last place I visit. I will not wait until I am empty to care for myself. My dear, you do not need a perfect life to practice self-love. You can practice it in the middle of a busy day. You can practice it when you feel unsure. You can practice it while healing from old pain. You can practice it when guilt rises. You can practice it when the old pattern tries to pull you back. Self-love is not a mood. It is a return. Again and again, you come back to the truth that you matter. Again and again, you choose the thought that does not harm you. Again and again, you listen to the small wisdom inside. Some days, the practice may be saying, I will not speak to myself cruelly today. Some days it may be, I will not chase what makes me feel forgotten. Some days it may be, I will not carry the whole world in my body tonight. Some days it may be, I will allow myself to be proud of how far I have come. Every loving choice adds up. Every return creates a new pattern. Every moment of self-respect tells your life, this is who I am becoming. There is also power in writing a new truth for yourself. Not a long page, Not perfect words, simply a few honest lines that help your heart remember. You might write, I am allowed to choose peace. I am allowed to grow. I am allowed to stop proving myself. I am allowed to receive love that feels safe. I am allowed to begin again. When you write words like these, you bring the hidden truth out of your heart and into your life. You give your mind something new to hold. You begin to plant a better belief. And when old thoughts return, meet them with patience. If the mind says, I am selfish for choosing myself, answer gently, I am learning healthy love. If the mind says, I am behind, answer gently, I am arriving in my own time. If the mind says, I should have known better, answer gently, I know more now, and I can choose differently. If the mind says, I am not enough, answer gently, I am enough because I exist. This is how you return to yourself. Not by fighting every thought, but by offering a higher truth with love. Your body also needs to feel your return. Place your attention on the parts of you that have carried the most, the shoulders that held tension, the chest that held sadness, the stomach that held worry, the jaw that held words you did not say. Speak to your body with kindness. Let it know you are listening now. Let it know it does not have to carry old fear alone. The body is not against you. It has been protecting you in the ways it knew. When you choose yourself, the body slowly learns that it can soften. Returning to yourself means making your own life a safe place to live. It means no longer filling your inner world with constant criticism. It means no longer treating rest as a weakness. It means no longer ignoring the signs that something is not rigged. It means no longer waiting until you break before you care for yourself. A safe inner life does not happen all at once. It is built by the way you respond to yourself in ordinary moments. Each kind response is a brick. Each honest choice is a brick. Each boundary is a brick. Over time, you build a home within yourself. And when you have this home inside, the outer world loses some of its power to shake you. You may still feel pain. You may still face change. You may still have days that feel uncertain, but you no longer become completely lost in them because you have a place to return. You have your own heart. You have your own truth. You have your own breath, your own wisdom, your own quiet strength. This is the gift of choosing yourself. You become less dependent on the world to make you feel whole because you are finally participating in your own wholeness. Let this practice become a gentle rhythm in your life. Listen inward, speak kindly, honor your needs, choose one loving action, and release the need to do it perfectly. That is enough. The mind may want to turn healing into something complicated, but the soul loves simplicity. Love does not need to be difficult. Care does not need to be earned. Peace does not need to be far away. It can begin with the way you treat yourself in this moment. My dear, return to yourself today with tenderness. Return to the part of you that still believes in beauty. Return to the part of you that wants to feel safe. Return to the part of you that has dreams you have not yet lived. Return to the part of you that is tired of pretending. Return not with blame, but with love. Say inside your heart, I am here now. I am listening now. I choose myself now. And as you do, life begins to feel less like something happening outside of you and more like something moving with you. My dear, there is a deep peace that comes when you stop forcing what is not yours. There is a relief that enters the body when you no longer try to make a closed door open, make a person understand, make an old dream fit your new soul, or make a situation become what it has never been able to be. Forcing is exhausting because it goes against the natural rhythm of life. It says, I do not trust the flow. I do not trust timing. I do not trust that what belongs to me can arrive without me breaking myself. But when you stop forcing, your energy begins to return. Your heart begins to breathe. Life begins to show you what was waiting behind all that effort. Sometimes you may think that letting go means losing, but often letting go is how you make room for what is true. You are not losing what belongs to you when you stop forcing. You are releasing what has been keeping your hands full. What is truly aligned with your soul does not need you to abandon yourself in order to keep it. It does not require you to become smaller, quieter, more anxious, or less alive. The right path may ask for courage. It may ask for patience. It may ask for growth, but it will not ask for self-betrayal as the price of entry. Think of how much of your life force can become tied to making something work that does not bring peace. You think about it in the morning. You carry it through the day. You replay it at night. You wonder what you could say, what you could do, how you could become different enough for the outcome to change. My dear, that is not love guiding you. That is fear gripping the wheel. Love has a different feeling. Love may be deep, but it does not destroy your inner world. Love may challenge you, but it does not keep you in constant confusion. Love may ask you to grow, but it does not ask you to disappear. When you stop forcing what is not yours, you begin to trust that life has more than one way to bless you. The mind may become fixed on one person, one door, one result, one version of the future. It says, it must happen this way, or I will not be okay. But the soul knows there are many doors. The soul knows that life can bring good through paths you have not yet seen. The soul knows that some delays are protection, some endings are openings, and some silence is redirection. When you choose yourself, you stop making one outcome your whole source of safety. You begin to rest in the deeper truth that life can still reach you. This does not mean you stop caring about your dreams. It means you stop strangling them with fear. It means you stop trying to control every detail from a wounded place. It means you begin to move with trust instead of panic. You take the loving step. You speak the honest word. You do the work that is yours to do. Then you release the part that belongs to life. This is not giving up. This is partnership with the universe. This is the sacred balance between action and surrender. Forcing often comes from the belief that if you do not hold everything together, everything will fall apart. But my dear, what is meant to stand will not require your constant suffering to keep it alive. What is meant to grow will have life in it. What is meant to stay will meet you with truth. What is meant to open will not need you to destroy your peace at the door. When something only continues because you keep exhausting yourself, it may not be supported by life. It may only be supported by your fear. And fear is not a foundation strong enough for the life you deserve. There is a beautiful freedom in saying, I release what requires me to abandon myself. I release what keeps me in fear. I release what asks me to beg for peace. I release the need to force what is not flowing. These words do not close you down. They open you. They tell life that you are ready for what can meet you in truth. They tell your body that the battle is ending. They tell your heart that it no longer has to chase what keeps moving away. When you stop forcing, space opens. At first, space can feel strange. You may not know what to do with the energy that used to go into worry. You may feel the quiet after years of trying, but this space is sacred. It is not empty. It is fertile. It is the place where new ideas can come. It is the place where peace can settle. It is the place where the right people, choices, and opportunities can find you. If your life has been crowded with what is not aligned, the good that belongs to you may have had no room to enter. Choosing yourself creates room. This is why your life starts moving again. The movement does not always come from adding more. Sometimes it comes from releasing what blocks the flow. Release the old story that says you must be chosen to be worthy. Release the need to keep proving your heart. Release the belief that struggle is the only path to good. Release the habit of calling anxiety passion. Release the fear that if something leaves, nothing better can come. These old beliefs keep your life tight. As they soften, life begins to breathe through you. You may notice that the moment you stop forcing, clarity arrives. You see what you could not see when fear was loud. You understand why you were tired. You recognize where your energy was leaking. You notice what has been calling you softly from the background. You begin to feel the difference between what your ego wanted to win and what your soul wants to live. This clarity is a gift. It helps you choose with peace instead of panic. It helps you trust that not everything you lose is a loss. Some things leave because your life is making space for a truer blessing. My dear, What belongs to you will not require you to hate yourself to keep it. What belongs to you will not make you feel unseen in your own life. What belongs to you will not ask you to give up your peace as proof of your loyalty. What belongs to you will feel like growth, not constant injury. It may stretch you, but it will not erase you. It may ask for patience, but it will not feed your fear. It may take time, but it will not require self-abandonment. There is a version of your life that can meet you when you stop chasing the wrong things. This life may be calmer than what you are used to. It may not have the same drama, the same rush, the same emotional highs and lows. At first, peace may feel unfamiliar, but stay with it. Peace is not boring. Peace is the ground where joy can grow. Peace is the place where your body can heal. Peace is the space where love becomes safe. Peace is the doorway to movement that does not drain your soul. Stop forcing the old door, my dear. Stop standing outside what has not opened with love. Stop calling it destiny if it keeps asking you to disappear. Stop calling it patience if it is really self-betrayal. Stop calling it hope if it is hurting your spirit every day. True hope brings breath back into the body. False hope keeps you chained to what does not change. You are allowed to know the difference. You are allowed to choose the hope that heals. Life starts moving when you trust that release is not the end. Release is movement. Release is a prayer in action. Release says, I trust that what is rigged for me can find me when I stop holding what is wrong for me. Release says, I trust that life has better timing than my fear. Release says, I am willing to receive in a way that does not cost me my soul. This is a powerful energy. It does not beg. It does not chase. It opens. And when you open, life can surprise you. The answer may arrive from a place you never expected. The support may come through someone new. The peace may rise before the outer situation changes. The opportunity may appear after you stop staring at the closed door. The love may come when you are no longer trying to earn it. The dream may return in a new form, clearer and more aligned. Life is not limited to the shape your fear imagined. The universe has more paths than your mind can see. Let your heart hear this. I do not need to force what belongs to me. I do not need to chase what is aligned. I do not need to lose myself to receive love. I let go of what drains me, and I make space for what supports me. These words are a soft return to trust. They remind you that your life is not meant to be a constant fight. Yes, life will ask you to grow. Yes, some seasons will require courage. But there is a difference between growth and self-destruction. There is a difference between effort and forcing. There is a difference between devotion and losing yourself. Choose the kind of life that does not demand your disappearance. Choose the kind of love that can meet your truth. Choose the kind of work that respects your energy. Choose the kind of peace that does not need to be explained to everyone. Choose the kind of future that feels like your soul can breathe there. And let the rest be released with love, not with bitterness, not with blame, with the quiet understanding that not everything is meant to continue and not every ending is against you. My dear, when you stop forcing what is not yours, your hands open, your heart opens, your path opens. You begin to stand in the present moment instead of living in fear of what you may lose. You begin to understand that life has not forgotten you. It has been waiting for you to stop holding what blocks the blessing. It has been waiting for you to choose yourself enough to receive what matches your worth. And as you do, movement begins. Gentle movement, honest movement, sacred movement. The kind that carries you not away from yourself, but back into the life that was always trying to reach you. My dear, after all the waiting, the proving, the carrying, the chasing, and the quiet self-abandonment, the invitation is simple. Come home to yourself. Come back to the heart you left behind while trying to be enough for everyone else. Come back to the body that has carried you through every hard day. Come back to the voice inside you that still knows what peace feels like. Come back to the dreams that waited patiently while you learned your worth. Come back to the life within you that has never stopped calling your name. Choosing yourself now is not a rejection of love. It is the beginning of a love that is whole. It is the beginning of a life where you are no longer missing from your own care. It is the beginning of peace that does not depend on everyone else understanding you. It is the beginning of movement that comes from truth, not fear. You do not need to become someone else. You only need to stop leaving yourself. You only need to stop placing your heart last. You only need to remember that your life matters because you are here. You are not selfish for choosing peace. You are not wrong for wanting love that feels safe. You are not cold for stepping back from what drains you. You are not difficult for having needs. You are not behind because you are healing slowly. You are not forgotten because life has been quiet. You are not broken because you are tired. You are a soul returning to itself. You are a heart learning to trust again. You are a person becoming whole after years of surviving in pieces. Let the old guilt soften now. Let the need to explain everything soften. Let the fear of being judged soften. Let the habit of chasing soften. Let the belief that you must suffer to be loved soften. You have carried enough. You have tried enough to become acceptable to people, places, and patterns that could not fully see you. Now it is time to see yourself. Now it is time to stand beside your own heart. Now it is time to choose the life that begins when you stop asking permission to matter. Your life starts moving again when your energy comes home. It moves when your yes becomes honest. It moves when your no becomes peaceful. It moves when your thoughts become kinder. It moves when your body feels listened to. It moves when your heart no longer has to beg for your attention. It moves when you stop forcing what is not yours and begin allowing what is aligned. Movement may begin quietly, but do not doubt it. A quiet beginning can become a beautiful life. So today or tonight, whenever these words find you, receive this truth with a soft heart. You are allowed to choose yourself now. You are allowed to begin again from this exact place. You are allowed to stop waiting for the past to give you peace. You are allowed to stop shaping yourself around fear. You are allowed to let life meet the version of you who finally knows that they are worthy of care. Say within your heart, I choose myself with love. I return to my peace. I honor my needs. I trust my inner voice. I release what is not mine. I allow my life to move again. Let these words settle into your body like warmth. Let them become the new ground beneath your choices. Let them remind you that choosing yourself is not the end of your story. It is the place where your story begins to breathe. My dear, life is not finished with you. The door is not closed. The path is not gone. The love meant for your healed heart has not missed you. The peace meant for your spirit is still available. The future meant for your soul is still unfolding. You have not ruined anything by taking time to remember your worth. You have not lost everything because you are learning to let go. You are not too late. You are arriving. Come home to yourself now. Stand gently in your own life. Let your heart be included in your love. Let your body be included in your care. Let your dreams be included in your prayers. Let your peace be included in your choices. Choose yourself now and watch how the stuck places begin to loosen. Choose yourself now and feel how your breath becomes deeper. Choose yourself now and let life begin moving through you again with grace, with trust, and with love.